the affair of the commission here in Delhi, given that the commission is not available in India's report.
What do you have to say, sir?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have a statement to make. The government of Canada has done what India has long been asking for. Canada has provided credible, irrefutable evidence of ties between agents of the government of India and a murder of a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil. Now it is time for India to live up to what it said it would do and look into those allegations. It is in the interest of both our countries and the peoples of our countries to get to the bottom of this. Canada stands ready to cooperate with India. Canada has done what India has long been asking for. Canada has provided credible, irrefutable evidence of ties between agents of the government of India and a murder of a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil. Now it is time for India to live up to what it said it would do and look into those allegations. It is in the interest of both our countries and the peoples of our countries to get to the bottom of this. Canada stands ready to cooperate with India.
Somebody of this one, Khalistani extremists.
This morning, British Columbians and Canadians were profoundly disturbed to hear information from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police about an investigation that they've been doing in British Columbia, in Alberta, and Ontario into threats or homicides, violence, and extortion. Their information, which to my mind is unprecedented, of allegations of foreign government being involved in violence, in homicides, in extortion against Canadians is profoundly disturbing to me, and I know to so many British Columbians and people across the country. I've spoken with Deputy Prime Minister Freeland, with Public Safety Minister Dom LeBlanc, and sought their assurance that federal investigative teams will continue to work with the BC RCMP and local police to ensure that those involved are held responsible. They have, of course, assured me that that will be the case. British Columbia will continue to ensure that our police have all of the resources they need to get to the bottom of this and hold those involved accountable. Our province's strength is the fact that people come here from around the world. They can be safe, build a good life for themselves and their families. Anything that threatens that is a threat to all of us. We will stick together. We will not let any foreign government divide us. We'll stand strong to protect British Columbians and all Canadians. Well, I'm profoundly concerned about the safety of the Sikh community. I know there are many people on hearing this news who are concerned about their own safety. There are others who are wondering, how is this possible that the government of India could potentially be involved in this kind of violent activity in Canada? What I can assure the Sikh community, what I can assure everybody in British Columbia and in Canada is that as far as the RCMP are involved, we will make sure that they have all of the resources necessary to protect different communities in our province from foreign interference, and also to make sure that they hold those involved in Canada accountable for any action threatening British Columbian, an Ontarian, an Albertan, or a Canadian. Told by the Public Safety Minister, Dom LeBlanc, that there is credible evidence that the government of India, through agents in Canada, has been involved in homicides, plural, extortions, plural, acts of violence against Canadians, acts of intimidation against Canadians, with an aim of advancing the interests of the government of India. This is obviously a very serious allegation, and I am certain that he would not be raising these issues. The RCMP would not be holding a press conference if this wasn't serious and credible information. The police have been working in an integrated fashion across the country, looking into issues of foreign interference, the murder of Mr. Najjar, allegations of the involvement of the government of India, and we have provided support and we will continue to provide support to that investigation from the province of British Columbia. One of the strengths, I think, of our province is the diversity. So many people from around the world who call this place home. So many people actually from across India, all different faiths, different parts of India, who have called British Columbia home. I was at a Sikh temple yesterday, meeting with people talking about their concerns about the election. And I think that if there's a dominant theme, whenever I'm meeting with a group of people that trace their roots back to some other part of the world, it's their appreciation for being in a part of the world where they're able to build a decent life for themselves and their family, where they're safe. And these allegations against the government of India go to the heart of that. They threaten the safety of British Columbians, the advantage that we have here, that these kinds of violent political acts shouldn't take place here. And that's why it's so serious. That's why it's so important. If anyone has information about extortion, people may be involved in this, they need to, and I know it's difficult, especially when you hear that there's violence involved, but please share that information with the police, support the investigation so they can get to the bottom of this, and we can weed it out, because we don't want it here. Thanks, Les. I can't share any information from what happened at that meeting. Part of the condition of participating was that the information was confidential. But what I can tell you is that, frustratingly, even with the amendments to the CSIS Act, names of specific individuals or companies or any specific identifying information was not able to be shared with me. And for this specific set of allegations that the RCMP released at this morning's press conference, I can tell you that, like all British Columbians, I am hearing these details for the first time. And I'm glad for that. I think it's important that the RCMP, when they're doing a criminal investigation, especially when it has international connections, that they be able to do that investigation without political interference, with all the resources that they need. The RCMP, I have confidence that if they have information they need to bring forward to the government for the government to act, they will do that. I have confidence now that, with the consent of the Public Safety Minister federally, that if CSIS has information that they need to bring to Elections BC or to the government of BC about foreign interference, that at least those tools are in place now. And for our part, we've ensured that Elections BC has tools to deal with foreign interference in elections, and the RCMP has the resources to get to the bottom of these allegations of violence, intimidation, homicide, and extortion. So within the provincial government, there is a police services division within the Ministry of Public Safety and Solicitor General. They work with police directly around requests for resources or other types of logistical, operational matters. Where necessary, they escalate to the Minister of Public Safety, and he gets confidential briefings and then is able to support them in that work, and if necessary, he would brief me. So there are systems in place that enable police to bring information forward. Part of the work that we've done is to make sure that through police services that the RCMP have all the resources they need, that local police have the resources they need to support the investigation that's been ongoing. And obviously, it's significantly more troubling and disturbing than anybody expected.
There are